let you have this one.
Oh, no, I mean, you in there. I mean, you're definitely in there because, like, when you look at it, like, what is faith? Faith can move mountains, but we see all through life that people have to go through things. Does that mean that they lack faith because they're going through it? It goes back to one of my thoughts was, and all I get understanding. And that's really all I seek. And all I getting understanding. You know what I mean? In business be as men, but in wisdom and knowledge be as children.
Right.
I'll be a man in business. I handle my business.
Yeah.
When it comes to going through this, I say this too. Back in 2020, something that really shifted me was in meditation. You're supposed to dig deep, go in. I use the technique of asking why. I don't eliminate my thoughts. I don't try to control my thoughts, right? So if I have a thought, I ask why. If I get an answer from that thought, I ask why again. Because now what I'm doing is I'm getting to the subconscious mind, the part that's controlling my actions and my thought process in the conscious mind, right? It's controlling my perception. So when I begin to get in there and I begin to get why and I get my answer, at that moment, I personally, I would be angry, because that's how I've always had to deal with things, right? I've always had to have this strong anger, and that was the way I dealt with it, right? So I would get angry, and I would embrace that anger, and then I would release it after understanding that this is why I'm angry, right? So it sounds simple in theory, but in actually doing it, it's intense. It's extremely intense. But I said it to say, because I can always go back to scripture because there's just so much truth.
That's it.
In it, right? Like, and we say these things and we say, oh, I'm examining ourselves, right? But what I really did in meditation was really, and people say, you can't meditate because if you meditate, that's of the devil. You're bringing a whole other spirit on you, right? No, I didn't. I embraced my spirit.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I embraced the spirit of my mind. And the spirit of my mind was dealing with so much. It made me angry, right? So it made me angry. So yeah, I'm angry. I'm mad at this person. I'm upset, right? But I'm saying it to say, when I took that and I embraced it, what I did is I would embrace it. I would hug it, right? I would give it like a hug. Okay, this is my truth, right? This is who I am.
That's it. I love it. Go ahead.
But now I can take this, and as I'm embracing this, because it says you should know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Yes.
Okay, this is my truth. But now I need to come to a place where I can release it.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you this. Did you release it understanding, because I love filtering things through God's eye. His word is what he says. Did you release it but did you release it and say, God, this is my truth. This is who I am. This is what I'm dealing with. This is my anger. This is A, B, and C. But what do you say? What is it in comparison to who you are? So did you release it to him, or did you just release it into the universe?
I release into the aspect of letting it go. I think about this right here, right? Lay your burdens down. That's not saying you'll never deal with them, because now you still have to deal with the conscious thoughts of always having to have this situation around, right? So it was underneath the aspect of I would embrace it, I would understand it, but then I would release the thinking of it. So now it's no longer becoming a part of me. And that's why I've been able to be free.
Yeah.
Years ago, I wouldn't talk to people. I just wouldn't, right? But now I'm learning to talk to people. Years ago, I couldn't have these types of conversations. I didn't understand why. I'm like, oh, it's fear. You know what I mean? I knew it was fear. But where's this fear stemming from? Because I got to think about it. I was born in sin, wrapped in iniquity. I have to renew my mind. I have to have to renew the spirit of my mind. We move past that so quick. Renew the spirit of your mind, but we don't really understand. And what we end up doing is we actually embrace or we unconsciously think the spirit of the mind is an actual spirit. So we say demons. I said this on the post too. We've been looking at these things as demons and devils. The spirit of the mind is a word, the thoughts and the actions. You know what I mean? Like when we begin to totally take this and begin to embrace the fact of, okay, now I'm meditating and I'm getting myself into a place where I'm peaceful, my body is peaceful, my spirit is peaceful, but my mind is not there yet. Yeah. So I'm trying to simplify, right? So I would embrace it, and then I would take it, and I would say, okay, this is what it is. Now I'm letting this go.
Right, exactly. That's simple.
This no longer needs to be a part of me.
Right.
Now, the process of letting it go. One of the biggest things I've dealt with that I've actually just begun to be open about publicly, and there's no disrespect on no end, is the fact that my mom didn't raise me, right? That the fact that my mom didn't raise me, the fact that I didn't have a dad, it did two things to me. Right? One, I had a totally disrespect for women. I did not trust women at all. Just didn't, right?
Right.
Didn't understand why. I would try to get into a conversation, and now granted, this could be the reason why I'm going 8 years and not getting married either, right? Very well may be the reason, because if my belief system is a man thinking, so is he. If my belief system unconsciously is telling me I don't trust women because of how my mom did me,
right? Yeah,
that is now being shown in my actions on whether I deal with women or don't, right?
Right.
So once again, these aren't things that you're told to talk about. You're not told to think about these things. You're told to trust in God.
They don't know.
They don't.
One, and I was thinking about that. If you don't know, I was even thinking about therapy, going to therapy. We were taught, hey, you don't go to therapy. God is go out there and get help from somebody. And I understand. I very well understand, especially if you're going to people that aren't, Christ-led, ABC, whatever the case may be. But it's just a total. But you don't have anybody in the church that's going to, for these different classes so that they can learn how to better be
Here's the kicker. There's therapists in the church.
Right.
Come on, man. There are therapists in the church. Why are we not having seminars? I was telling, I put this in the post, right? I said, I've been in church.
Right.
I've been in church all these years, and I've heard one message. And here's the thing. No, I've heard one message, and that message was by me. But I heard one thought that dealt. I promise you, that one message on mental health, and that was by me.
Yeah.
But I heard one thought, and it was touched on, and it was quickly bypassed about trauma. And